Hey, this is Coach, and you're listening to Coach's Corner, where sales leaders raise their game. I'm really excited to be sitting down today with our very own VP of Sales at Ambition, Mr. Mark McWatters. And he's had the fortune of working with some of our largest, most prominent enterprise logos. So his purview into coaching systems and how those actually work at a large scale, all the way down to a small scale, is really unique. Coaching systems, what does that actually mean?
Happy to be here, of course, hanging with you. Coaching systems. Every company obsesses over sales process. Why do companies not obsess over the coaching process? Well, one part of that coaching process, I would call it coaching system. What I mean by that is, when do coaching moments regularly happen throughout the week? So, for example, my coaching system at Ambition. On Monday, we have our team meeting and I have one-on-ones. Depending on your team size, those might bleed into Tuesday. We want to set the tone on Monday. What's most important this week? We also do a daily stand-up in Slack. It's really basic questions. What are you excited about? And what are you anxious about? That basically tells me there's a big call today, either way, and it takes the rep 30 seconds to fill that out. On every other Thursday, we do an initiative-based training. So maybe that's a call review. Maybe that's a new pricing that's coming out or a new product that we're offering. Every other Thursday, 1 hour in the afternoon. I found that time works well for our team. We hold that. And then every Friday, we have an all go-to-market call. So while this may sound like a lot, these daily touch points with a couple key cornerstones of the coaching system ensure that the reps clearly understand what's most important, also that they're getting supported in the ways they need. Oftentimes, a company will say, yeah, our reps coach all the time. And you ask, well, when do they coach? It kind of whenever it comes up. Of course, like that's going to happen at any organization. But is there a system in place, builds time, blocks time, both team and individually, where a rep knows what to expect, that they will be coached at a team meeting, in a one-on-one, in an initiative training, and hear reinforcement throughout all of go-to-market at the end of the week?
Yeah, I think that's really important. Having a system around it and having regular scheduled programming for coaching. I think, a lot of orgs think it's happening. They know it's happening, but they don't actually have a way to prove that it's happening. Less about from the org side and more about the individual. Like, think about when you were a brand new sales rep or even a veteran sales rep, knowing these gates are happening throughout the week and you're going to cross through them require you to be prepared. They require you to be sharp. They require you to bring value as well. I think it's really important for, just as much as it is for managers to coach their rep, needs to seek that coaching. And having a system in place allows them to have a comfortable atmosphere to do that. Sometimes it's scary to raise your hand and tell your VP of sales you're struggling with something, Mark. I know the Super Bowl just happened. You look at two different types of coaches, but both with really strong systems. Can you talk a little bit about the value of a system when it comes to recruiting and retention and how we can basically build a scalable process around creating A players?
Yeah, I love that. Here's the through line I would drive to the Chiefs and the 49ers and in sales coaching. Systems create clear expectations, and clear expectations always win. Whether that is a sales process expectation or a coaching expectation, could be as simple as, I know I'm going to have my one-on-one with my boss every Monday at 1:30 Central, right? And system in place allows the rep, maybe they have something on Friday they want to talk through, but it's not super urgent. I'll just put that in my one-on-one for Monday. And now we're going to sit and talk through that topic together. Or they, to your point, know every Monday at 1:30, they're going to talk about opportunities where they're stuck. And that becomes an expectation to the rep of, okay, I have that time. I can wait till Monday at 1. Like, let's dedicate that to the coaching conversation. So with Andy Reid, with Shanahan, I mean, those teams have clear expectations. Like Brock Purdy, the whole league thought, wasn't good enough to lead somebody to big wins, much less be a starter. But he is great at processing what is happening, and he knows where his people will be. And I mean, the Chiefs through line there is, I couldn't name you a wide receiver on that team of any significance, but there's a clear expectation on what they need to do, where they need to be. And I may be overgeneralizing the through line, But when clear expectations exist, success happens.
I think another thing that I think of off of clear expectations is accountability, right? Like every rep has had that manager that's held them accountable, but I think systems hold managers accountable to that coaching.
Tell us about your coaching system. One of the things that really stood out to me was I'm doing these huddles in Slack. Yours were live. And so there was an expectation for your team daily, for example, that they're going to be hopping in live to talk through focus. But let me kick it back to you.
Yeah, I think in a remote or hybrid environment, it is crucial. Systems are even more crucial in order to promote really long-term business impact things like getting people to ramp quicker, lowering attrition rates, making people feel like they're a part of a culture and a part of something. Because when that door shuts and you hop off that Zoom and you're alone in your apartment and you're a 25-year-old sales rep, like what now? Right. And I think
Yeah.
that the importance of building visual, using our communication tools, you use Slack. I'm a video guy. I think that the first step is having people feel like they're connected because they are. One thing we would do is some type of video meeting every day. So Monday, we'd have our weekly kickoff. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we would all hop on Zooms before our call blitzes, getting 20 SDRs just rolling on the phones. I think it's really important there. At the end of the week, we do what's called call camp. So essentially the whole team hops on. It's the last meeting of Friday. People are looking forward to the weekend. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say 3 p.m. on Fridays, I'm ready to go to happy hour. But I think it's crucial to come together one last time and celebrate. So throughout the week, in one-on-ones, my managers were talking to reps about their calls, and we would have reps submit calls for call camp throughout the week. So on Friday, the team comes together. We play essentially, the highlight reel of our cold calls for the week, and we'd vote on the winner. We're amplifying what good looks like. We need to celebrate and reinforce good behavior. That's just as important as kind of course correcting mistakes.
This call camp is legendary at Ambition. I think what you hit on is it's similar is, throughout the week, those SDRs knew, hey, I should submit this for call camp. They had that daily stand up in a job where it's a grind. It is hard. You need to see people face to face. You need to know that time is coming. And I think your system really led to a culture that was tough to beat. The other point you said that I want to double down on is that we talk about accountability for the reps. Managers need accountability too. The system really allows for accountability at the manager level. And there's often a gap in accountability. It's like the most senior leaders carry a lot of accountability and ownership to their numbers. The front line carries a lot of accountability and ownership to their individual quotas. But in the middle, do they feel that same sense of accountability and ownership? They need their own level of accountability, urgency that drives coaching at scale. And so by creating a coaching system, a clear expectation for them and their team, you're going to better set them up for success because now they know what is expected of them and their frontline employees know what is expected of themselves.
Over the last few years is the larger the org, the more mature the coaching process is. And I think it should be this really thoughtful system and process. Your company's 10 people. You've had the fortune to work with some of our customers like HubSpot and Zoom and T-Mobile, and these really large orgs that have been around for 20, 30 plus years. What's something that you've learned throughout seeing the in-depth systems that these orgs run that you think would be useful for somebody running a smaller sales org to know?
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind is simplicity. What's the saying? Every journey starts with one small step. Take the small step in creating the most obvious of the coaching motions. For a lot of customers, that's a one-on-one each week with your manager. In that one-on-one, a really simple question guide helps that be more efficient. So, my personal preferences on these are please list your highlights and lowlights from last week. Where are you currently stuck? What have you tried to get unstuck? How can I help you get unstuck? And what do you plan to accomplish this week? Don't feel like your first one-on-one template in this example has to be the mecca of all one-on-one templates. The key is you get started, you get the motion in place, you start simply, You learn from this and then you iterate. That will begin to take you down the journey of building your coaching system.
Man, that's really powerful. I think simplicity is power. Any final thoughts on coaching systems or anything you want to get off your chest before we kind of hop?
I'll end with, you need the system in place. Yes, build that, get started. But make your system encouraging. Make the coaching conversations a conversation the rep wants to have because they know you want them to win. So sometimes in systems, the emotion gets lost. In coaching, the emotion matters. Leaders, like, be human. Use your emotion. People want to work for people that feel like they want them to win. Just go win. Build that coaching system.
Mark McWatters, VP of Sales Ambition. Thanks, man.